Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Today's video, we are going to try something a little bit different. So about a week or so ago, I saw that Jaclyn Hill posted a video where she did one side of her face all highlighted and glowed up, and then the other side of her face all matte. And the entire time I was watching the video, I just thought, I want to do this too. It was so interesting seeing the end result and seeing which side of her face that she liked better. And for me personally, I typically tend to always highlight and really go for like something glowy, but there are times where I prefer a more matte look, but I have never done my face half and half. Maybe you have. And let us know. So I'm going to be doing one side of my face highlighted, the other side of my face matte. I want to see what they look like. I want to see the differences, and I'm really curious to see which side I prefer. So if you're ready to get into the highlight versus matte challenge, why don't we go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are all zoomed in, ready to go. I'm going to do this side of my face highlighted and this side of my face matte. Hopefully I can keep that together throughout the video. So I'm going to start with a primer. Normally when I do tutorial type of videos, I start with my eyes, but this isn't a tutorial at all, and I'm not doing any sort of crazy eye look. It's just an experiment, if you will. So for my highlighted side, I'm going to use the Pur No Filter Primer. It is a blurring primer, but I noticed that it almost kind of reminded me a bit of the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I don't know how much to use since I'm only doing half my face. This is gonna be weird. And on the other side, I'm going to use my only mattifying primer that I own, which is the Milani Prime Shield. This is the mattifying and pore minimizing primer. It looks like this. It's kind of a silicone-based primer. Oh, that was probably too much for only half of my face, but it's okay. So I'll go ahead and blend this one in. For foundation on the glowy side, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Pro Glow. My shade is in 207 Sand Beige. I feel like this was my glowiest foundation that I have right now. I'm just gonna dot a little bit on my face. Usually I hate putting my fingers in makeup, but I didn't want to pour it directly onto the Beauty Blender because I am going to use the same Beauty Blender. So I don't really ever dot makeup on my face, so I don't know if that was enough or if that was too much. I don't really know. And then I'm going to use the Morphe, I think this is called the Flawless sponge. And go ahead and blend that in. And on the matte side of my face, I had a really hard time finding a matte foundation because if you guys don't know, I'm not a huge fan of like really matte foundations, but I do have a sample of the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion foundation, and this one is really matte. I'm in the shade Buff, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. I did recommend this one in my Sephora VIB sale video. I do like this foundation, even though it is more matte and more full coverage. I still really did like it. So it has a little like dropper there, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pat some on my face. I probably for sure used too much on this side because I always forget that this is like a little bit goes such a long way because it is so full coverage. And then I'm going to use the other side of my beauty sponge and just blend that one out. Okay, so here we are after foundation and primer. I feel like the Laura Mercier foundation is definitely a couple shades darker than the L'Oreal, but I don't know if I noticed any huge difference yet between matte and glowy, but let's move on to concealer. So for concealer on the glowy side, I'm also going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow concealer and apply some to my under eyes here. I almost went to do the other side. I don't know if you noticed that, but I almost did it. Then I'm going to blend this one out. Then for my matte side, I had a kind of a hard time at picking a concealer, but I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape. I don't know if I have a concealer that's necessarily like, this is matte, where some of them are like glowy or radiant finish or things like that, but I figured the Tarte Shape Tape is pretty matte and it's also full coverage, so it kind of goes along with the foundation that we have. So I'm going to use the other end of my beauty sponge and blend that one out. And then to set the concealer on the highlight side, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier. This is the Secret Brightening Powder. So this one, in my opinion, brightens the under eyes, of course, as the name would suggest, and I really do enjoy this one. I've never tried the original Laura Mercier, but it's because I tend to go for the bright under eyes, so that's why I bought the Secret Brightening Powder, and I really quite enjoy it. So I'm just gonna apply that with my beauty sponge. And then on the other side, I'm going to use this one from Pixi. It is just a translucent powder. It's fairly newer to me, but I didn't really notice it being super brightening at all. So I'm going to use the other end of my beauty blender. Apply that one as well. Okay, I'm gonna let these both bake for just a few minutes, but off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my brows. So I'm gonna do a little bit more for the face before we move on to the eyes, because the eyes are just gonna be like so minimal. I don't know, what are you guys thinking? Can you tell so far? I don't know if I see a huge difference yet. So for my bronzer on the highlighting side, I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. It has a little bit of shimmer in it. I don't know if you'd be able to see on camera, but it does have a little bit of shimmer to it, and I didn't really have any other shimmer bronzers. I'm going to use the Morphe M527 to apply it. And then on the matte side, I'm going to use my OG, the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. This is a little sample size, and my Morphe R2 to apply to the matte side. Blush, I realized that I had quite a few shimmery blushes, or just like, even if they weren't like full shimmer, more of like shimmer-esque type of blushes, but I feel like this one is pretty darn shimmery and fun. This is from Pixi Beauty in Rome Rose. I think it's the collab with Aspen Ovard. I'm going to use the Luxie 504 to apply to this side of my face, but I actually had trouble finding like straight matte blushes. I felt like I had so many shimmer or luminous blushes, but not a whole lot of matte options. The blush that I ended up using is actually the one in the Tarte and Styled by Hrush palette. It has some eyeshadows, but this is a straight matte blush. It is called Cheeky. So I'm going to use the Sigma F40 to go ahead and apply this one. I don't know if these colors are going to be the same, but we're not gonna match anyways at the end, so like no big deal, right? So the eyes I am going to keep pretty basic, because I feel like, you know, kind of the point of this is more of like the face and then obviously the highlight at the end and stuff. But the two palettes that I'm going to use for the luminous side, I'm going to use the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. For the matte side, I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This is an all matte eyeshadow palette, but I think I'm just really gonna go in with like two colors. So okay, highlight side over here, Jaclyn Hill palette. I feel like I'm gonna get confused. So I have my two E40s out, so I'm just gonna first come in with a brown shade. I mean, I don't have any like sparkly browns or whatnot. So coming into the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm just gonna grab the shade Puder, the third one in the second row, and apply that into the crease. I'm gonna grab my other E40 from Sigma, and I'm gonna come into the first shade here in the Shade and Light palette and dust that one into the crease as well. Then in the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm gonna take the second shade, which is Beam. It looks like it has maybe a little bit more glow. I'm gonna use the Sigma E55, and I'm going to place this one really all over the lid. And then in the Shade and Light palette, I'm going to take the third shade here, which is a white, and then this is the Sigma E54. I'm just going to apply this one all over the lid as well. I feel like I look so funny, but so here are the different eyes. So again, really simple. I just put a brown in each, but then a shimmer white in one and all matte in the other. So interesting. I feel like this one, like this eye, I feel like looks more awake. It just looks bigger, and I haven't even put any like inner corner or anything in it. I feel like I can definitely tell that. I'm gonna go ahead and add some mascara. It's actually kind of tripping me out how much bigger one of my eyes looks. Like it's so strange. So I'm gonna do some liner in my waterline. On the highlight side, I'm going to use more of a white, which again just kind of helps open up the eyes. And then on the other side, I'm going to use just a plain old brown. So this one is from Rimmel. It's the Exaggerate liner in the Nude. This has been one of my favorite nude liners since forever. And then on the other side, I'm going to use the Pure On Point liner, and this one is in the shade Down to Earth, just a regular brown. Since the matte browns really weren't all that different, I'm just going to take this first shade here in the Kat Von D palette and the Sigma pencil brush, the E30. I'm just going to sweep that along both of the lower lash lines just to give me a little something here. And take a little bit of the shade right here, SBN, Smoky But Natural. And I'm just going to kind of like casually dot that onto the lower lash line just to give a little bit of shimmer over here. And then also in the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm going to take the first shade, which is called In Light. I just stuck my finger in creamsicle. The amount of times I put my fingernails in makeup, eyeshadow specifically, it's just crazy. So on this side, I'm going to go ahead and highlight the inner corner. This is the Morphe E36 brush. And then I'm also going to use that same brush and the same shade. And I'm going to highlight the brow bone. Of course, I'm not going to do that for the matte side. Again, I feel like this side is just so much more awake, especially with that added liner and the waterline. Okay, so that's going to be it for the eyes. So let's switch back to the face and highlight half of my face. Totally normal. I actually just got the Ofra and NikkieTutorials collaboration sent to me. So it has the 3 lipsticks and then like the little trio wheel here. And I feel like I always hear about how blinding this highlight is. And NikkieTutorials is kind of known for like the glow. So I'm going to use this for my highlight on this side of my face. This was sent to me from Octoly and Ofra. So a big thank you to them. Oh, I do like Ofra highlights a lot. I just bought my first one at the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty in Blissful. So I'm excited to try this one out. The highlight is called Everglow. I believe now they just did the second collaboration with NikkieTutorials, and you can actually get these separately. So I think what I'm going to do is actually mix the 2 lightest shades together. I'm going to use my Sigma F03, my favorite highlighting brush, and let's see what we come up with. Oh my goodness, that is a NikkieTutorials highlight right there. Just kind of experimenting. I'm going to add some along the C around your eyes, which I normally do, but I don't do it quite as like intense. But you know, I want to see the difference here. I want to see which side I would really prefer. So do a little bit of that. I'm going to do a little bit on the side of my Cupid's bow and a little bit on the side of my nose. That's kind of hard to do. Okay, so here we have highlighted. Oh my goodness. Completely matte. What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? We still gotta do lips, but this is really weird to me. Okay, let's finish off with some lip color, and then I will do setting sprays too, but lip color first. I'm gonna use another lip color from that Ofra and NikkieTutorials. This one is in Nude Potion. So I'm gonna do what Jaclyn did and just put it all over my lips. First, she tried to do like half and half, but I'm just gonna do it all over my lips, and then I'll put gloss on one half. Okay. There is Nude Potion. That's really pretty. I do like the Ofra lipsticks, so I'm excited to have a new one. I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add, this is a MAC lip gloss in Under the Sheets. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to this side of my face. I feel still, even though we are almost done, I'm still like, am I putting this on the right side? I don't know. So makeup is complete. I don't have a mattifying setting spray, but I do have this one from Tarte, which is the Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. And this makes you dewy. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to spray just this side of my face. And after we have sprayed, this is the final result. What do you think? All right guys, so this is it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Which side do you prefer, highlight or matte? I have to say, Jaclyn, because I know you're watching this video, I've been a subscriber of yours for a long time. I've supported you in a lot of different ways, but I am really upset with you right now. Why would you make us do this? Because I like the matte side so much more I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it, but I agree with what she said in her video that she felt like the highlight side aged her. Your girl's 30. I don't need nobody helping me look older. I need to look younger. And this side, I feel like does look younger. It looks fresher. It looks more natural. Obviously, I mean, hello. But I actually do like the matte side. I'm like distraught right now. Let me know your thoughts though, of course. Let me know your comments. Do you like the highlight side more? Why do you think you like it more? Do you prefer the matte side more? Are you gonna try this challenge? Have you tried the challenge? I mean, I don't think she really meant for it to be a challenge, but that's how I took it. I was like, oh girl, I'm gonna do half my face highlighted and half my face matte and see which one I like better and be super surprised at it. I mean, I don't feel like I'm going to give up highlight cold turkey because that would be devastating and I love my highlights so much. But I feel like every single time I do my makeup, I always finish with highlight, always. Like that's it. Even if I'm just running out somewhere, I always finish with highlight. And I feel like now I will actually leave my skin alone sometimes. I won't always highlight, or at least not highlight so much. You know, obviously in this video, I wanted to see the differences, so I wasn't gonna be like, I'm just gonna put a dab of highlight here because that's not gonna help me actually see the difference. But some days I do go out looking like this. The other day, my husband, we were getting ready to leave and he goes, oh, you got that light on your cheeks again. I was like, yes, highlight. Do you like it? And he was like, mm-hmm. I don't know what that meant. I don't know what that meant. So I'm pretty sure if Mitch was here, he would be saying he would like this side more too. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I don't know if I regret now doing this challenge or not, but that is it for the highlight versus matte challenge. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Big thank you to Jaclyn Hill for coming up with this idea and inspiring me to do something a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Like I said, I'll have her video linked down below if you want to check it out and see all the different steps that she did to achieve a highlight versus matte look. Of course, I'd love to hear any of your comments down below. What do you prefer for yourself on a daily basis, or if you want to do the challenge, all of that fun stuff, let's talk in the comment section. But other than that, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. I hope that you will also consider subscribing before you go. I do have a bonus video coming tomorrow, so I will catch you guys in that video. Bye. This is weirding me out. Maybe you just don't have to post the video. Just don't post it. Nobody will know. It'll be your secret. Aries, are you gonna tell anybody?